Hello, hello. It's a SIG Node weekly meeting. It's February 28th, 2023. Welcome, everybody. Today agenda is very short. First, I wanted to say that we've beaten all our records on total PRs on SIG Node. It's 248 now. I think it's a absolute maximum we saw. Maybe like 2 years back we see the same. So we need approvers and reviewers. I think we have more active reviewers these days, and we have many LGTM PRs, but some approvers are on not around this time. So yeah, if you're interested what's happening since last week, you see that 36 PRs were created, and it's not even close to what PRs were closed and merged. It's only 20. So we have 16 PRs growth over last week. And I wanted to remind you that code freeze is in 2 weeks. It's March 15th. So if you want your feature, bug fix, or anything or enhancement to be merged, please hurry up. You don't have too much time for this. With that said, I want to pass agenda to Vinay. He has the only agenda item this week. Vinay, take it away.
Yeah, hi. So the PR is finally merged. Tim LGTM'd it last night. I saw that it merged successfully, and I've been watching the tests so far, and I came out to ski, so you can tell I'm really serious about it. Well, okay. There are a couple of follow-up PRs that are, I think one follow-up PR for sure, which Tim wanted. The name of the resize policy is going to be moved around a little bit, restructured, and setting defaults. It's pretty close. There's one integration test that's failing because it does not like when you patch it and the patch is no op patch, it still continues to patch it and updates the revision. So I need to investigate what's going on. But besides that, that's the only issue, outstanding issue for having that PR ready. And the other one is to use get pod QoS, that function that we have. I want to replace that with pod status in the status pod QoS because we don't want to compute this. It's across the code base, and that doesn't have to be in this release. We're very close to code freeze, so I don't want. We'll see if we want to do it now. We can do it now or later. But yeah, this one is hopefully nothing will break. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'll keep an eye on it. But if you guys see any issues I can't see, that I'm missing, please let me know. It's one of the big PRs that's merged, and it is bound to create some, ruffle some feathers somewhere. That's all I have to say. And yeah, last thing is,
I was happy the stuff merged. It's fun to blame Tim because he was the one that had to do the final approve.
yeah.
The changes that you're talking about, though, the PR looks like it's one pull request, right? So
yeah.
Are you describing them as two changes because you want to separate them, or can we just
it will be two. Yeah, it will be two different commits so that it's easier to read. One is the name restructuring, and the other one is setting the defaults. There is a bunch of generated files that came out from the restructuring, which so it looks like Excel PR, but really it's not. It's a lot of the files are generated. But that I think we want to have it as part of this release. We want to have it as part of this. So besides that, it should be fairly easy to review. I already have the PR up there, but it's not ready to merge because that integration, that one test is failing, and I need to investigate after I get back from enjoying the powder that's out here. So yeah, cool. That's the only thing that that's outstanding. That's critical for this release. The other one, get pod QoS, is not really. I mean, it can come. We're 2 weeks from code freeze, so maybe we should just do it later. It's been around like that for a while, and one more release, and it's not a critical fix. Does that answer your questions?
No, that does. That sounds good, Vinay.
Okay.
So I'll just track the PR in question with Tim, and we'll get it merged when it's ready.
Yeah. And lastly, I just want to thank everyone on SIG Node for their incredible support, without which this would not have happened.
Vinay, since I didn't know that this PR was merged. I didn't check my notifications before the meeting. So on sidecar group, we've been discussing splitting all the tasks into multiple stages. So I pasted Uber issues that we discussed. So it also touches similar code base, and I think some of the cleanup will need, like some of the ongoing PRs will need to rebase now. It's not a big deal. It's just small changes. Yeah, so if you're interested in learning what we're doing with sidecars, so Derek, if you want to review and give a green light for this kind of split of PRs to make them manageable and small, please review this Uber issue. I placed it in a agenda document.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll try and take a look if there are any conflicts that need help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't be of more help, but my primary focus right now is on a new job search because our company decided to shut down all operations here. Well, all right. Thank you very much.
So yeah, I just realized that somebody put agenda items on the future, not under a current date. Lucy, I see you saying that it's already taken care of.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, forgot to delete it.
Okay, no worries. And Mihai, do you want to talk about your PR?
Yes, yes. I just moved it down to today. Okay, so two things. One is hopefully small, but I discovered that after introduction of the test for umkill, it's flaky. Like sometimes it fails. Unfortunately, I didn't discover that before in my testing, but it happens on when the machines are loaded. And what I found characteristic about the failures, which I ended up reproducing, is that in the logs of container D, the umkill task comes before the start container successfully message or something like this. So I believe it's just about waiting a couple of seconds to, and this is like typically the difference in time is like 10 milliseconds, so very small, but still it's possible. And then the error message isn't as we expect killed, but error. So as a quick fix, I propose just to wait. But for a long-term solution, I think it would be good to have like a proper fix. But I'm not very like sure if this is container D issue. Like if you have some idea, then I can create an issue, open an issue in container D anyway, so that the folks look it up. So that's one thing. Let me know what you think about that.
Yeah, please create an issue so we can discuss.
Okay, but yeah, so I will open, but I think for a quick fix, it would be good to merge it so that people's jobs don't fail.
Oh yeah.
So please take a look. Then another thing is that I'm working in this iteration. I mean, is the marking of pending and terminating pods as failed by kubelet. And the implementation, like the initial implementation, is now up for review. So please, leave your comments. But while working on this implementation, I already have like 3 questions that we can maybe discuss now or during the reviews. So the questions that I discovered is like, as you know, this whole thing started off from job, so that we want to match the failed pods against pod failure policy. So we want them to be in terminal phase. But what is characteristic about jobs is that they use finalizers. And I think we could restrict the waiting to transition the pods to failed phase only for those pods that have finalizers. I think like this should be easy, and we can this way save some QPS. So I would like to hear what you think about that, because otherwise kubelet needs to first like transition the phase, and this may happen. This may require additional API call. So yeah, that's the thing. And another is that I observed that if kubelet restarts, so I sort of triggered like often restarts of kubelet, then even if I have the pod in terminal phase, it can flip to pending, back to pending for a like very brief period of time. And I could fix it, like not allow to flip back from failed to pending. But I was wondering if this is like something, maybe a sign of something deeper, like have you seen such behavior? So again, a question, does it require like a generic fix or just specific? So it's something that I observed. So
what was the transition you saw? You went from what to what?
From failed to pending. So in general, I want to transition pending and terminating pods to failed, and for that I use the eviction mechanism. But once they,
I just want to make sure I heard that. You went from, there's some noise in the room where I'm at. So you went from a pod being failed back to pending, a terminal state to a non-terminal state?
yes. So occasionally, if kubelet is restarted just after transitioning to failed phase, and then kubelet restarts, the pod may transition back to pending for a brief period of time.
Yeah, so I know Clayton has been investigating. We've had like a whack-a-mole of bugs that occasionally where pods can go from a terminal to a non-terminal state momentarily, then come back. Clayton was investigating some of those. I don't know if probably on this particular PR, it'd be good to get him to take a look, because I know he was hacking away at other approaches to this problem independent of jobs. But that's probably who I'd want to align you with.
Yeah, so it would be good maybe to let him know about this PR. I have it reproducible, so yeah, if I just restart, I mean, not like 100%, but if I just keep restarting kubelet at random points, this will happen time to time.
Yeah, so if you have a reproducer independent of the job use case, I think that would be really good. Sometimes we've struggled to find like concrete reproducer scenarios, but if you have one independent, getting a test case posted that just shows that specific problem, I think would help a lot of us. So if you have that reproducer and you're willing to write that E2E, and it was confidently reproducing, that I think that would be super helpful.
Sure. So I will maybe, yeah, I'm just wondering whether I should reuse my branch because it's sort of clean for review, or maybe I will just create another PR and
if you could make a distinct PR just with the test that demonstrates going from a terminal to non-terminal state, that would be really helpful, independent of 11.5.3.3.1.
Okay, I will do this. So I see a hand. So
yeah, I was going to also suggest Clayton has some PRs that are, you could try your test case with his PRs and see if the behavior is improved. I think that's where I would start because he's greatly changed the way the pod manager is working, and it would probably affect your use case.
I see. So this could be nice test. Although I must say I'm not testing on master, but on my PR. But like, yeah. In my PR, I just transitioned the pods into failed, but yeah. But I could probably merge the two branches, mine and his, and check if the problem still occurs. So that's a good point. So that's, but I don't know his branch. So maybe if someone could point me.
I'll link it in chat here and put it in the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I just wanted to plus one that, like, I've been working with Clayton on that PR as well, adding some tests, and we've made quite a few changes to the updates and other kind of pod manager is a little bit changed as well. So it's possible we fix it there. If not, though, like, I think we should have separate PR for just that test. It'd be super helpful, and then we can figure out the fix for it. And then it's helpful to kind of merge like the test plus the fix in one PR so you can validate that it works. So that'd be super helpful to have like a separate PR for that.
Okay, so that's another question from me, and one more is, yes, while working on this, again, this was sort of started off by jobs where we only, and the job feature where we only deal with restart pods with restart policy never. So in that case, the pods always transition to failed sooner or later, at least from the observations. But I noticed while working on that if I have a running pod, but its restart policy is on failure or always, then it may never transition to failed, even though it has the deletion timestamp. So it doesn't really restart, and it actually gets deleted from etcd. But if you add a finalizer to it so that it doesn't get deleted from etcd, then it stays. It doesn't never restart, but it stays in the running phase with containers terminated. And I think this is a bug, but let me know if I think correctly. And if so, should we also deal with that? Probably this is something, if you confirm this looks like a bug, then I will probably want to decouple this from my work, because again, this is not strictly needed for jobs, but I'm like giving thumbs up that there might be something. Let me know if it was maybe too fast.
Yeah, I think the next step is just get familiar with the PR that Ryan posted, and then see if your work is still needed in that PR or not.
Okay, so possibly that's also might be fixed there, but again, something that I observed, not strictly needed for my work and jobs, but it was surprising to see pods in the running phase when added finalizers with restart policy on failure, but then they never get deleted because they have a finalizer, and yeah, and they are in this weird state. So
yeah, I just want to say, like, I do think that's a bug, because I think we expect all pods to eventually end up in a terminal state. So the fact that it's not happening does sound like a bug. I did chat with Clayton a little bit about that, and I think Clayton also agreed that that's a bug. I think the issue is just right now, like, we can delete, if the pod is we can delete the pod regardless. If we know that the pod is terminal, we delete the pod from the API server regardless of updating the status, because that requires like an additional update on the server, because you basically need to do like an update and then delete right away. But I do think it's something worth doing because of the finalizer use case, for example, as you mentioned.
Okay, so I will yet check if maybe the other PR helps, but other than that, probably we will open some issue about that.
Yeah, I don't think that PR actually fixes that. That's a different issue, but we still need to fix it. But yeah.
Michael, I put some comments on your 1.1.6.082. If you want to chat later, we can chat about it.
Okay, cool. You mean on the killer flaky test? Or?
Yeah, I approved the flaky adding delay, but we probably need a separate issue to fix it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, I agree.
Yeah, so one of my suggestions is to put a sleep in a different spot.
Should I hold it? Let me hold it.
Because I don't see the comment now. Are you sure?
It's in the SIG Node meeting comment. I put it in our SIG Node comments. I'll copy and paste it to the issue if you like.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll take it offline. Yeah, if there is no more agenda items, I would suggest we will go back to PR reviews and merging, approving, getting the numbers better. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
See you.